Welcome everyone. This is going to be the tarot reading for the new moon, which is on the 25th of July in Leo. So there are three piles in front of you. This is going to be pile number 1 with the clear quartz. Pile number 2 is going to be this deck with the Amazonite. Pile number 3 is going to be this deck with the chevron amethyst. So you can pause this video and select which pile you'd like to choose. You can also choose to listen to all three and take whatever messages resonate with you. So I'll be back with pile number 1. Welcome everyone. This is for those of you who chose pile number 1 with the clear quartz. The first thing I heard was the number 26. So the date 26th of July could be significant, or 26 could be your birthday. It could also be your age. Okay, so the number 26 could have some significance. 26 also adds up to 8, which is about abundance, and you could also be a life path number 8. Okay, so let's get into your reading. So this is for the new moon. So I'm going to be asking, what are you releasing? What do you need to let go of? We will look at what you need to focus on, or what are you manifesting, and also some general advice. Okay. Pile number 1. What do you need to release, or what are you letting go of? Okay, let me just get a clarifying card. So for some of you, this could be that you are letting go of a person. There may have been a breakup or a divorce. This could also be quitting a job. There could be a change of boss. You could have left a job as well. I'm also hearing something to do with a rejection. Maybe somebody rejected your proposal, or you rejected someone. Okay, so something about a person in your life is significant. This could also be a friendship. Okay, because if I look at King and Queen, I'm getting the energy of somebody that is at a similar level. So this could also be the breakup of a friendship. So currently, the current energy is talking about, again, a heartbreak, a misunderstanding, okay, upset, disappointment, and this talks about a proposal. That's why I said it could be romantic or at work. Okay, but it seems like it's been rejected, or this person has been asked to move on. Something about the energy of money as well. I also got that maybe somebody had asked for something regarding something to do with finances as well. I'm hearing if there is like a divorce, then something to do with a divorce settlement or alimony. Okay, something regarding that. Maybe you asked for a particular amount or for a particular type of settlement which has not completely gone your way, or maybe all of the criteria could not be met. So this is actually the advice. The card is stuck. Just give me a minute. For somebody, I'm getting that you were used to a particular lifestyle, or there is too much attachment to wealth and luxurious lifestyle, and maybe you were being supported before by your partner, or maybe it was, both of you all together, but it seems like you will now be working on your own independently. Maybe this person will not be providing for you anymore. Yeah. You're becoming more independent. And this is not just to do with only money, but I see you coming into your own, where you're willing to take the reins. You're willing to be the one in charge. If you're a business owner, okay, I see success for you, a lot of fame and recognition. At work, I also see that there could be a promotion. Maybe for a very long time, you were not getting promoted, but now you will see that there will be a step up. Okay, it's like you're stepping into a new role. I also see that people will start seeing you differently now. You may be given more responsibilities. You may be now the person who is more in command. Okay, so you may have a more commanding position. I'm also getting an energy of like a CEO. With the Emperor and the Devil, I also get this energy of the chain breaker, the rebel, the one who stands against oppression, the one who stands against equality and fairness. Maybe you felt pressurized, or you could not voice your truth, you could not express yourself, but you're getting that chance now, and that is something which is changing for you over the next couple of weeks with this new moon energy. It's like you were in a situation which just felt like you couldn't do anything. You felt stuck for a really long time, and you finally had the courage to stand up and speak up or speak out. Okay, this could also be like politics in the workplace, or something to do within the family. Okay. I also feel like somebody is saying no to long working hours. Somebody's changing the way that they run their life. Like a change of schedule, something that is more suited, something that is more practical. You're not somebody who's going to be standing at the back anymore. I also feel like you were somebody that was always, maybe you were like a people pleaser, or you were never willing to say no. But that's changing now. I'm also getting this like underpaid, undervalued. And you've come to that realization that not anymore. Enough is enough. Like, I'm in charge now, and I get to call the shots. All right, that was your reading, group number 1, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, take care. All right, welcome group number 2. This is for those of you who chose the Amazonite Tower. So this reading is going to be regarding the new moon. So we're going to look at what you're releasing, what you need to let go of, what are you manifesting, and any other advice that comes through. Okay. So pile number 2. Let's see, what are you letting go of? With this group, I'm getting a very spiritual sort of energy. What I mean by that is something to do with as if you have literally ascended. Okay, you've gone through ascension, you've gone through something like the dark night of the soul, or something major has happened in your life that has probably forced you to take a new outlook at life. Maybe life was very comfortable, it was going in a very smooth path, or maybe everything was laid out for you, but suddenly there was this revelation, maybe there was some information, maybe you had a word with somebody, maybe something happened in your dreams or something that made you question yourself, your life, and the ways in which you go about things. You're releasing the way that you view things. When you go to a counselor, when you start reading spiritual books, when you start learning more about the laws or about the universe or about energy, simply, let's just say energy, you realize that we are the creators of everything that happens in your life. You realize that nothing is happening to you, but everything is happening for you. You realize that there is no use playing the victim game, because even the suffering is something that we create, and with our vibration, we attract everything that's happening to us, whether we look at it as good or bad or positive or negative. I hope I'm making sense so far. So something has happened which has made you look at life in a completely different way. You're learning more. I feel like you are in that phase of your life where you are now seeking a deeper meaning of things. It's no more just a shallow, banal sort of life. You're looking for more enriching, valuable things in your life. You're looking for more deeper experiences. When we're young, we want that dopamine, adrenaline, we'll do all these exciting things which gives us a high, which is temporary. But now you realize that I want more. All this is fine, but it's not doing anything for my soul. And that's what I get with this particular energy for this pile. Sometimes we're doing something, but our heart is not in it. Or we really want to do something, but we feel like it's not practical. So there is a misalignment of energy. We've been taught, we've been ingrained, we've been conditioned that money is important and you must strive to be the best. And of course that is true. But somewhere along the line, you realize that yes, money is important, but success means different things to different people. Sometimes you reach that point where you realize that one of the greatest success is also having good health. That one of the best things you can have is peace of mind. Money is important, but so are you. For a lot of people, the money defines them. The more money you have, the more you are liked. The more money you have means you have that much success. The more money you have means you're that much popular. But is that really true? Because you can have everything and yet feel empty, yet feel like, why am I still not satisfied? And what happens is we don't realize, but we feel, let me get that fancy car, or let me now buy, this house, or let me make this purchase. Maybe this is the thing that will give me that happiness. So we keep looking outside for that thing that will give us that finally, now I feel successful, or finally now I have it all. But one day you'll realize that that joy comes from within. And everything that we have outside, which is material, gives us pleasure, but in its own limitations. So it's learning to enjoy the money, but also learning to enjoy our own body, our inner joy. It's also keeping that child alive. It's important to enjoy the little things in life, the little pleasures of life. When we go out, if you go for a walk in nature, how often do we really stop and smell the flowers? And I mean literally. When was the last time you went and touched a leaf? When was the last time you went and just gently touched a flower or smelt it? Or when was the last time you went and just hugged a tree? So this is also a reminder to connect back to who you are, connect back with nature, because nature reminds us of who we are and where we've come from. I'm hearing something to do with soul purpose. A lot of times there are clients and, it's like, what is our soul purpose? Or why am I born here on earth? What if it's not some big fancy thing? What if it's as simple as our soul purpose is to enjoy our life, to create our life, to be joyful, to learn, to experience the wonderful things that this universe has. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, but we get so humanized that we forget that at the end of the day, we are energy. We get so wound up in our daily lives and the rigmarole of, I have to go to work, I have to come back, and then I have to go out, I have to meet my friends, and then social media, and then all the little things that we have. And there's so much of competition and everything, and then we're doom scrolling, in the night, and before you know it, it's some ridiculous hour in the night and we barely have enough time to sleep, and you're back again. It's like the grind. So this is a reminder to connect with yourself. Remind yourself to be this conscious being that you are. And how beautiful is this card, which is here, which is about experiencing. When you have something like, oh, I manifested this, it feels like a miracle. Do you realize that it's not a miracle? It's something which is essentially you. But we make it tough because our mind comes in our way. Our main source of limitations is our mind. Why do we say work on the mindset? It's only because our beliefs, our patterns are the only things that limit us. And hence we go into fear and panic because we don't trust what we are actually, which is pure consciousness. And it's lovely that this card came because this is what you are now focusing and manifesting, is consciousness, is getting the clarity. You were stuck in this hanged man position. It was like you were stuck in a limbo. You didn't know what was going on, or you didn't know where to go, where not to go. So you were just stuck. It's like you were frozen in time. And then you had this amazing awareness. You had this amazing... I'm also hearing deja vu. Maybe somebody gets deja vu from time to time about what their future actually looks like and where they are right now. And that gap in between is what we need to fill with what? With consciousness, with the faith of knowing that I can manifest this. The reason that I see the future is because it already exists. How will I manifest it? By being that vibration and attracting the future to me. The Three of Wands. The Three of Wands talks about receiving the rewards for what you have already done. It talks about collaborations. It talks about your desires. It talks about your ships coming in. It talks about you receiving the rewards for what work you have put in. And when you realize that this tree or this one leaf or one molecule of air has and contains the entire universe within it, you don't have to go somewhere out looking for it because everything exists within you already. But we keep seeking outside only to realize that what you are looking for is already within you. And that brings me to the next section, which is the advice card, which talks about, again, that remember, you are the creator. The creator and you are one. You are a part of the creator and you are also a creator. Welcome group number 3. This is for those of you who chose the chevron amethyst. This is going to be your reading. So we're doing 2-3 questions, which is what are you releasing and letting go of? What are you manifesting? And any other advice that comes through, okay, for the new moon energies. Pile number 3. Okay, these just jumped out, so I'm going to keep them here. What are you releasing? What are you manifesting? And what advice you need? Let's take these cards. Interesting. For some clarifying cards. Okay, so if I look at these cards, what are you releasing? What are you letting go of? I feel it is not a person. To me, it doesn't seem like a person, but I feel like this is something to do with you becoming wiser. You're learning to relax more. You know, it's like somebody who is finally growing up, maturing, getting more responsibilities, learning to be more responsible. Okay, I feel for somebody here, it's like some news or something that happened that kind of jolted this person or made this person become more responsible. Like, I'm getting an image because of the crow here. I'm getting a message that maybe somebody suddenly passed away and maybe you took life not so seriously, okay? But that's changing. It's like something suddenly changed within you where you felt like you had to change the way that you were doing things. For somebody, this could be that you're also literally moving somewhere else. For somebody, this could also be a promotion. For somebody, this could also be like stepping into a family business. It's like you overnight were given responsibilities. You were like this carefree teenager and suddenly you've had to become this, you know, gentleman. So you're probably letting go of a life that was carefree. Doesn't mean that you can't enjoy your life, but maybe you're starting to take things more seriously, or maybe you had to. Okay, for somebody, I'm also getting like something happened where they had to change habits regarding their health. Maybe there was like, you know, you read about these young people who are overdoing exercise and then they have severe heart problems, or you hear these people that just, you know, pass away on the treadmill or while running or something. And I'm getting like some news, maybe you heard it from someone else and it kind of shook you up and you've decided to maybe slow things down a little. Maybe you were overdoing something. Okay, maybe it could be like a muscle injury. Something has happened that has suddenly, you know, shifted things for you in your life. But it's like you're becoming a more responsible citizen as well, I want to say. I also got this energy that you became an adult much or way before your friends did. Okay, maybe there were situations at home, or maybe it was life, and it forced you to do things way earlier than other people did. And sometimes you may look back and feel like, hey, I didn't get to enjoy this in my childhood because I was too busy having to fend for myself, or I was too busy having to take care of things or responsibilities. Okay, so it could go either way, but these are the different energies that are coming up. Either way, the energy is that you're doing a good job. Okay, you're on the right path is basically what's coming up. You've grown wiser. You've had so much more experience that has turned you into this person that you are today. This could be a man, woman, doesn't matter. This is just for representation purpose. You're becoming from a Knight of Swords into a King of Swords, which means that a Knight of Swords is someone who is very fast-paced, very quick thinking, also someone who may think a lot or may speak very fast, or someone who just has a lot of thoughts. You may blurt something before thinking. Now you're taking your time, you're processing things, you're learning to be patient. You have more clarity. You have more clarity because you have more experience. You're learning to look at things from different angles. You're not just doing what you want selfishly. You're looking at the bigger picture of things. This is like, when you're young and restless, you can just get up one day and be like, hey, I'm just going on a ride, or I'm just going to go out of town. And now you're at a point where you need to plan. You need to think. Okay? So you may be reminiscing about the old times as well. But I want to say that regardless of whatever happened, everything in our life shapes us into what we become as an adult. I keep getting this message that you need to be proud of who you are and who you've become and what you're continuing to do in your life. I think that's what they want you to know. If you see the Tower card, I don't know why I was holding on to my cards for so long. It doesn't have like a negative energy. In fact, it has something which is so transformational. It's like when someone gets like that bolt of lightning. This is something that was so required in your life. There's this movie 13 going on 30. She has this dream, and then it usually comes with like a jolt, and she wakes up. One day she's 13 and the next day she wakes up like she's 30 years old, because she always wanted to be an adult. She was so tired of being a teenager, and it just happened like that overnight. And that's when she got to experience life as a 30-year-old. So none of this is giving me anything bad, so to say. It's all got butterflies, and it's like you overnight bloomed into something. This could be some amazing job, residence change, or some opportunity which is going to come to you overnight. It could be something like that, like a sudden big news, okay, which would be so amazing for you. So let's look at the current energy now, and then I'll get into these cards. So we have the Moon and we have the Two of Swords. Now it's an interesting combination. The Moon talks about our hidden fears, our anxieties, our shadow self. It talks about things that are hidden, mysteries. Okay, this could also be related to the womb as well. So if you're a woman, or if you've been having any issues to do with your ovaries or your cycle, that could also be one of the things. This is about addressing things that you don't want to see or you don't want to accept maybe. But when this comes up, it is telling you that it's time to look at things. It's time to stop hiding. It's time to stop being in denial. It's time to stop and remove the blindfold. Not looking at something will not make a problem go away. So you have to look at things and face them head on. The mind is very restless. Again, you have a lot of swords in your energy. So the mind is definitely like constantly working on what should I do or not do. The Two of Swords could talk about a very important decision regarding a transition in your life. You could be very, very sensitive right now. Like the Moon is also a card of sensitivity, our intuition, our awareness. And when it's very, very heightened, we can also perceive so much more. Okay, that we may also start to feel very, very restless at the same time, because as empaths, you just pick up so much more. And that's why you have the King of Swords, where you're able to have the quality of discernment, of judgment, knowing what is right, knowing what is not right, knowing what to pay attention to, knowing what not to pay attention to, knowing what to ignore, knowing where to put your focus, where to put your time, who you spend time with, who is draining my energy, who is actually good for me, who is encouraging me, who are the people that gossip about me, who are my well-wishers, all of that. So it's a very reflective time period, I feel, group number 3, especially with this new moon energy. So a lot of things have and are coming to the surface for you. The moon can also be a very triggering time because there's heightened sensitivity and emotions. And the thing to do is to not suppress them. Rather, let it come to the surface. Let it be illuminated. Stop letting things hide and lurk in the shadows, because when it's hidden, it causes more panic because you don't know. But once something is out in the open, at least you know, and then you can make a decision. Pretty much like what this card is talking about. It's time to remove the blindfolds. Alright, as the advice, we have the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Number 1, the Nine of Cups is a wish card, which means that you are manifesting something that you desire. It's a card about a wish coming true. Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups also tells me that you will be having a very happy, joyous, fulfilling period in your life in the coming months. I'm also getting with the 9, the month of, I'm getting September to October could be very important for you. It's a time of great emotional fulfillment. Something that makes you very, very happy. For somebody, you may be manifesting a life partner. For somebody, this could be the birth of a child or something at work as well. I see you being more calmer as well. And why I'm saying calm in this way is because even in one of the earlier readings, I think it was pile 1 or pile 2, it was that feeling peaceful or feeling at bliss is such a gift. Most of us are literally looking to have that in our lives, right? To just have that peace, to have that clarity, because we're so used to this fast-paced life. So these 2 cards just jumped out, which is why I'm just going to go through it before I end your reading. So there is a transition from a period of struggle, competition, ego struggles, fights. Okay, and things are now changing. Maybe you were part of an organization or something where there was a lot of competition, or you've just had a lot of challenging times. Okay, you may have also taken a sort of a short break currently, or maybe in the past month or 2. For someone, you are definitely finding your partner or your soulmate. Okay, and that's what I see here. By the month of October, September or October, I feel you will meet your soulmate. And we do have this. So this is the beginning of a new journey. Just to summarize, what I get is like after this struggling time, you've gone through a break, you're picking yourself up, you're starting afresh with a very clear mind, and you're moving towards family life, harmony, peaceful times, happy times. And this is like the beginning of a new journey, starting from this new moon onwards. So the next 6 months for you this is what you're stepping into. Manifesting for somebody, this could be like you're manifesting your dream life, like finally. And it's a beautiful energy. Wow, did you see this? The Fool card also has the amethyst, and that's what you've chosen. Wonderful. See, that's how the synchronicity works, right? So if you needed any confirmation, then here it is. All right, group 3, this was your reading. Hope it helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, take care.